Alrighty folks, this is going to be a pretty short video, but by the title it should be pretty obvious what's going on here. And really what that is don't get screwed. And this is a situation where this is actually a customer that purchased their own battery rather than having me source one for them. And unfortunately, they got screwed. So let's go take a deep dive into this thing and I'll show you what's going on here. So the very first thing that I noticed when this battery first showed up, and what happened here is basically this pack was being sold by not really an actual auto dismantler, but more like just somebody that buys cars and maybe fixes them up or parts them out or whatever. And he actually paid somebody else to go and pull this pack for him, put it on a pallet, and then truck it over here to my shop. Very first thing that guy noticed when he was pulling the pack, and that he mentioned to me, and that, you know, I kind of noticed looking at it too, was that it was pretty clear that the lid had been removed from this pack and it was not sealed. You could tell the edges were a little bit bent. If you looked in the sides where it's supposed to mount to the pack, you could see there was no sealant. It was basically just bolted on there. And whoever put it together didn't even put all the bolts in it. It was missing bolts, not all the bolts were threaded in, all sorts of craziness. And then the next thing that I noticed is the sticker here, which of course is upside down, but you can see it says 24 kilowatt hour. It's from a 2015 build date. So this pack was pulled out of a 2019 Leaf, and it should have been a 40 kilowatt hour battery. So the very first red flag there, or the first two red flags, is A, the pack looks like it's been opened up, and B, it's not the pack that the car should have had. Now, that brings up the next question, is why was the pack opened up? And the reason is the actual internals of this pack, or at least the cells and modules themselves, are not even from a 2015. These are actually modules from a 2011 or a 2012 Leaf shoved into a Gen 2 2015 pack. And it's a little bit hard to describe really what the differences are, but basically just the sheet metal housing on the modules is different between the first and second gen packs, or whatever, modules, whatever you want to call it. They're different. They're not the same. These ones were actually built in Japan, so they built these cells, I believe, in Japan, whereas the second generation and up packs and cells and everything were built in Tennessee at AESC. So that's kind of all the different red flags here. I actually plugged my Leaf Spy dongle into this thing, which I don't have on me at the moment. I could show you guys, but I'll just explain it. It shows great state of health. If you plug it in, the pack's balanced, and it's showing 92% state of health, which sounds great, but even for a 2015 pack, that sounds a little too good to be true. It looks like what happened is that they kept the stock LBC for the 2015 pack, which I think they would have had to for all the connectors to match up, but then they just put the, or at least the two connectors here for the low voltage control stuff for contactors and whatnot, or not contactors, but thermistors and the amperage measurements and all that stuff. So they kept the electronics and just swapped all the modules and stuff. These module groups, at least the ones in the front here, don't even actually bolt into this pack. You can see that they modified these module groups. They cut a V-notch in this, just enough to put a nut around the stud on there. If we look back here, you can see that one's barely even holding it on. I mean, we've got, what, maybe 1/4 of the nut engaging on the sheet metal plate down there. Same here. And then we've got another V-notch on this side. I can't even imagine what would happen to this pack if someone tried to stick it into a car and drive it and, you know, God forbid if they got into an accident, these things are barely even held in here at all. So super dangerous, super sketchy, definitely not a cool situation. There's actually a shop here in the Portland area that is notorious for pulling off this kind of thing, specifically putting crappy old batteries into newer Leafs and sending them to auction. And I'm not going to name names, but yeah, you could probably figure out who they are if you were to do some research. But yeah, unfortunately in the automotive industry, this is not too uncommon. It's not something that just happens with EVs, but it happens with internal combustion cars too. People, swap engines and transmissions into cars and patch them up just enough that they, seem to work properly and send them to auction and then, basically screw the next guy. And unfortunately, that's what happened here. So my customer paid a really cheap price for what should have been a 40 kilowatt hour pack, but it's way, way too much money for what this pack ended up being. I want to say that I think they paid $1,500 plus whatever they paid the other guy to pull it and put it on the pallet and truck it over here. So yeah, I mean, on a good day, I would say that a stock 2011 or 2012 24 kilowatt hour pack like this is worth $200 or $300 at best. And yeah, I mean, this one's clearly just kind of a hacked up version, so probably not even worth that. If I were to guess, it's probably 50 or 60% state of health at best on a good day. Potentially even less than that. So we're talking probably somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 10 or 11 kilowatt hours usable. So yeah, I mean, it's a worthless pack to be able to put into a car. Obviously, it's unsafe to put into a car and not really suitable to be put back on the road. It could maybe be used for stationary energy projects or hobbies or something like that, but definitely not something that you would ever want to use in a car again. And in all honesty, it's probably best off to be destined for the recycler, just because it's such a hacked up mess. So yeah, I guess the moral of the story is here, don't get screwed. If you're trying to buy a pack, if at all possible, try and test it first. But as we saw here, even testing it, we weren't able to really get any good results. I'm going to guess that they probably reset the state of health on this thing before whatever amount of time it spent getting driven around a little bit, in the auction yard or whatever. And yeah, it's really a shame that this happens. I've heard of this kind of thing happening to other folks, both with Nissan Leafs and with other cars too. I've heard of people buying Model S's where the pack enclosure gets filled with concrete just to make the car, have the weight in it so it looks proper, but then it ends up, having a pack that's basically non-existent. Or of course, in cases like this, people swapping in junk packs into cars that should have better packs and basically just passing along the buck to the next sucker down the line. So really sucks. And hopefully this guy will be able to get most, if not all of his money back. I think that the guy that he bought this from told him that they'd be willing to give him back, like half of the money if it ended up being a 24 kilowatt hour instead of a 40. If it were a good 24 kilowatt hour battery, that would probably be a pretty decent price. But this is, like I said, this is a worthless pack. It's got no good use case for it at this point. I mean, I wouldn't even put this into a car. It's too much of a liability issue with the hacked up bolt-in job and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, real bummer. Alrighty, folks. Well, I think that's going to wrap this one up. I probably rambled on for way too long about this thing, but I kind of thought this was something that was worth sharing. Like I said, unfortunately, situations like this are all too common for, things like this to happen. And you just got to be careful when you're buying stuff, especially if it's not through like a legitimate auto dismantler where they come with like a warranty. This is not that kind of situation. I mean, I think this is basically like a guy that parts out cars in his backyard kind of thing. He probably bought the car from auction with the intent of fixing it up, maybe. Realized that there was something wrong with it mechanically where it, was stuck in turtle mode and wasn't properly drivable, and decided he would part it out. And the reason why is obviously what we're looking at right here. So the moral of the story is, do your due diligence. If you can, try to buy stuff from, a reputable seller. Try and test it if you can. Obviously, in this case, that probably wouldn't have helped very much. But yeah, you just got to be careful. Not everybody out there is, has good morals and is willing to stand behind their work. And a lot of people are just out there to make a buck, and they don't really care who gets screwed. So anyway, that's enough of a downer for this one. As always, thanks for watching.